Good morning. First of all, we have one correction. I'm no longer the head of the department. So, just to thank Dr. Fitsiri and to congratulate them for doing such a wonderful effort to help the country actually. So, I never refuse an opportunity to speak on anti-doping. As so far I hate to say this, but because to jinx it, after Manju, we have not had, fingers crossed, a major sporting problem in anti-doping so far. So hope to keep it like that. These are the high-profile athletes that have been banned. So doping is defined as the occurrence of one among following anti-doping rule violations. So there are 11 anti-doping rule violations. You don't, just to realize that it's not only testing positive. If you try to use or attempted use, evading, whereabout failures. If you're elite athlete in our level, only the cricketers and weightlifters are in that category. You have to give your whereabouts 24/7 because they can come and check your urine or blood, depending, at any time. Tampering is also then possession. In our law, in 2013, we passed an act, and according to that, if you traffic or give someone, this was even before WADA had passed that law, you're up to a jail sentence of 2 years. If you are found guilty of giving someone the drug. If you're an athlete, you won't be put in jail. But we say the coach gives someone a drug and it's proven, then the coach can go to jail for 2 years. So administration to an athlete, complicity or attempted complicity, prohibited association. Discourage or retaliate. So how does a substance make it into the prohibited list? There are 3 criteria. It has the potential to enhance or enhance a sport performance. It represents an actual or potential health risk to the athlete or violates the spirit of sport. So, for instance, caffeine definitely improves performance. There is evidence to show that it does, but it's not banned. Right? Having said that, if you are sensitive to caffeine, you can get palpitations, arrhythmias. So most of the energy drinks have caffeine. Right? So this is a summary from 2013, since we were established, to 2022. So these are the highlighted problems. Bodybuilding, I don't consider sport, and I think actually we should not be testing bodybuilding. Right? But somehow it has made it to the National Sports Festival. So therefore we are forced to test it. Otherwise, even WADA doesn't recommend testing bodybuilding because you can't do bodybuilding without taking drugs. That's a reality. Right? Anyone who knows any medicine knows that you can't reach that size you can't be natural. Right? Those who follow internet, YouTube, you heard of the Liver King. Anyone in the audience, Liver King? Oh, Liver King is absolute fraud. But he made billions because people believe that primal diet, that means they can liver kala, meva kala, and hadaganna puluwan kiyala. He was on $10,000 a month he was spending on his drugs. Right? So that's out. So the other sports are powerlifting and cycling for some unknown reason. But we have met with the federation and we have spoken to them and we have sorted that out. So these are the years. In the region, other than India, we probably in the SAF region, we definitely do the most amount of testing. It's getting increasingly difficult to do testing because with the dollar, it costs about $200 a test. Next question is, why can't we do it in Sri Lanka? We can do it, but to be registered with WADA, you need to be doing 3,000 tests a year, right? So that's impossible to do. Even India has only one, and Singapore doesn't have a single lab, right? So that's the thing, but maybe in the future we should do that. We have a lab, but it's a research lab. Again, this is if you take the sport wise. So last year only 3, but I must say the testing, we are doing much less testing than before due to COVID. Now we are getting back to normal. So prevention is very, very important even in anti-doping, right? It's not, we are not just here to catch people. So this is one thing I was really pushing for, to introduce this into the school curriculum. So it will be introduced. This is in a graded fashion. So sports nutrition and anti-doping at a school level will be important. I must thank, always I thank Mr. Sunil Jayavira for banning junior Mr. Sri Lanka. Because at that time, all the school children were taking drugs, steroids. Right? And all the gyms are giving steroids, not only steroids. We'll come to that later. So how to prevent? You have to have awareness programs, outreach. Value-based education is the most scientific and proven method of educating people. There are various e-learning certificates. So what are the values? These are at school level. You have to inculcate good values in your children. Then they will turn out to be good athletes. That is what is proven. Once they become athletes, it's too late to do that. So that's what WADA now advises to do. And so this is an example how two athletes helped each other in Tokyo 2020. They shared the gold medal. So there are people who have good values in sport, even at the highest level. So sharing a gold medal is not something people will like to do. Gold medal, even in schools, it won't happen. So your values also tell you how to behave. So if you value kindness, others will do the same. And if you value honesty, you will tell the truth. So equity, inclusion, and respect. Those are the 3 value-based things that you are supposed to include or inculcate in people. So equity is about the opportunity to achieve for all. Respect is important. Respect is about having dignity for self and others. And inclusion. So to include everyone in participation. So equity, inclusion, and respect. Those are the things you must try to inculcate in the children. There are no shortcuts to win, unfortunately. So if you take shortcuts, you may lose your entire career, like so many athletes have. Because if you get banned for 2, 3, 4 years, that's the end of your career. So many have, it has happened to so many. These are the e-learning platforms we have. This is Adele is by WADA. And you can get a certificate for that if you need online. So the prohibited list, there are so many substances. No one knows the list by heart. You have to check, right? And this is the anti-doping procedure for urine in a sort of nutshell. So it's very complicated. It's probably the only occasion where when you have to pass urine, someone is there looking at you. So only thing where it's legal to do that. Right? So there is a chaperone of the same sex, obviously, who observes you passing. The reason is If you go to the internet, you can buy freeze-dried urine, right? And they inject it into the bladder and test. That is the level athletes go to. So you need all this. But more and more, if you read about, recently there was issue in India, a few days ago. I don't know all of you. So that's because Indian anti-doping is compared to 1.5 billion population. According to WADA, Indian anti-doping is the worst. They have banned. The Anti-Doping Association has had issues. So there's a lot of issues there. And what they use is, if you use human growth hormone, which is available for about 5,000, 6,000 in Sri Lanka, and in gyms they are using, and IGF-1. You ask medical students, they won't know. But when patients come to me, I ask them, Dynabol use කරනවද කියලා? නෑ කියනවා. ඊපස්සේ මං අහනවා use කරන්නේ නැත්නම් කොහොමද Dynabol ගැන දන්නේ? මොකද මේ Dynabol ගැන medical students ලත් දන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි ඔක්කොම gym වල කට්ටිය දන්නේ. So medications, it's important if people come and you're prescribing. First, you must tell that you're a national athlete. That is very important because, for instance, cough syrups, most of them have banned substances. So you can't prescribe them to national athletes. So they should remind. In competition and out of competition is different. For instance, steroids, injectable steroids, oral steroids are okay out of competition. In competition, you can't. But the half-life in the body, ශරීරයේ කොච්චර කාල තියෙනද කියන එක vary වෙනවා. ඉතින් අද out of competition හෙට ටෙස්ට් කරුවොත් in competition අහුනොත් ඒක violation එක. So dosage is important. For instance, if you nebulize a person with salbutamol too frequently, you can go across the threshold. Brand is important. And when you travel abroad, the ingredients of the drug may be different. Zero needle policy is essential, right? You cannot give anything IV more than 100 ml to a person unless it's a medical emergency and you have to be in hospital. So if you have to nebulize, again, admit to hospital. If you are in doubt, please ask us. We have a hotline, website, all that is available. Even in the Olympic Games, there is a zero needle policy. No one need have a needle in the Olympic village. If you want to check medicine, this is a very good site. I also use this. We all use this. Global DRO. That's very important. This is our research laboratory, which is very well equipped. So we do research in it. We don't do testing. This is our app. Unfortunately, it's not on Apple, but it's on Android. It has all the local drugs. You can download it free from the App Store and you can use it. And please encourage people to use it because it's local based. Right? You can contact us on all social media. I want to take a little time because I think Dr. Renuka Jayathisa's talk was very apt to follow that. May Rich Piana කියන කවුද කියලා දන්න අහලා තියෙන අය අත උස්සනවා. මදි හැබැයි. Right. So Rich Piana is a bodybuilder professional. He was known as Mr. 5%, not Mr. 10%. So he used every single drug. He died when he was 47. He used every conceivable drug. If you go to his YouTube videos, he says how to use. Ultimately, he used insulin and died probably of an overdose of insulin, hypoglycemia, because insulin is also anabolic hormone. to use it properly. So most of these guys microdose, right? There is something called synthol, which you inject into your muscles to make it synthetically big. It's like an implant, but you can inject it. That's the difference. So whatever area you want to develop, you can use. So bodybuilding allows anything. That's why I said bodybuilding it's not a sport. It is different world. You have to take drugs to do that. And what I advise is, if your livelihood is this, right? If you'll say you are a professional bodybuilder, you get this, that you're paid to do this, you earn from this, then you take a conscious risk that you're going to die before 50, right? And you enjoy your life. That's your decision. But if you're just going to the gym, gym instructor, සල්ලි හොයන්න ඕන හින්දා supplement දුන්නා නම් ගන්න එපා. තේරුමක් නැහැ. ඇයි ඒක කරන්නේ? මොකද even rich piano says don't take supplements. It's useless. You can do you can be healthy and build muscle with natural. So what I tell anyone who comes to me is about supplements, and this applies to any team. First, do a nutritional assessment and find out, is the person deficient in anything? ඊට පස්සේ supplement ගන්න අවශ්‍ය නම්. ඒතකොට මේ දුප්පත් ඇත්ලීට්ස්ලා කණ්ඩ නැහැ කියන ඇත්ලීට්ස්ලා කොහොමද මේ සල්ලි ගන්න human growth hormone ගන්න? ඊට පස්සේ that's a question you have to ask. And athlete කෙනෙක් when they are caught, they come with President's Council lawyers. But they don't have enough money to eat, right? So it's very difficult. President's Council charges about 1 million for appearance, tax-free. So that's the issue we have, right? So what I want to leave you with, the key summaries are, if you are in doubt with an athlete, you all are all dealing with athletes, please ask someone or check on the web. Don't give them supplements unless they go to a professional nutritionist and be assessed. And please don't give supplements to children. Thank you.